What the hell? Oh, the boys in live. Oh, see what I'm seeing. Are you ready to get this thing,
man? Let's do this, man.
Let's do it, baby. Oh. Oh, can you? I can't hear nothing. Can you hear? No. Okay. Well, I'm talking about. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. What to do, KTTV? This is the Administrators coming at you live with another episode. Look, man. RT, man, it's been a long time since we've been on this thing, man. How you feeling, brother?
Man, you know what? I'm pretty good, man. School's out. We are ready for a short but needed break. You know, I got on the Pokemon hat today because, you know, we're doing things at JoJo's Collectibles. But I got the Braves on because them Braves are the best team in baseball right now.
Man.
Go Braves, baby.
As I look in the back there, man, I see so much going on, so many of them collectibles, man. So big shouts out to you, man, with the shop and everything you got going. And the episodes, man. I still have not joined, bro. So please let me know when it's gonna be my time for a cameo.
All right. We're coming up to 200, baby.
Well, look, y'all. Today, as y'all know, it's been a while since we've been in this thing, but we are here to talk about the money. So this is where we try to give you the education, specifically for educators, because we know the life and we know how hard it is to be a day trader. So a lot of times you got to get them swing trades, which means you have to find A+ setups to be able to get your game up. So that's what we will try to provide tonight. But I guess first, before we do anything, man, let's get into a little bit of the news because we know that it has been crazy in our world. All right, so let me get our screen together here. Let me take a little bit of this, my backdrop off, and I want to get us some good information. And so for tonight, the market rally opens piece headlines, right? And so as we talk about this, we have big news that's moving the markets this week. The stock futures have surged after the Trump announced, that peace agreements have been reached. The end of the conflict between the United States and Iran is coming to a close. The market reacted immediately. Were you able to kind of check their pre-market out yesterday after the news of the deal went through?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Yeah. So last night, them futures last night, like it says, were up. I was happy, and it turned out a little bit better today than they had started last night. But heck yeah, I was checking up on it.
Look, I'm talking about the same here. So just to give the futures in context, the S&P futures jumped more than 1%. The Dow gained over 400 points. And the NASDAQ futures led the way with nearly a 2% gain as investors rushed back into technology and AI stocks. And so I have been holding some McDonald's, things like that, you know, for when the economy is just rough. But what happened? It did not matter about that because people piled their money back into tech stocks. They piled it back into a lot of what is making money versus the growth stocks. So all tech, and you've seen what happened. Now, the thing is, this rally was not limited to the United States. It was global markets that jumped in as well. So we're talking South Korea, which was climbing more than 5%. Japan's Nikkei, which was rising about 5%. And another major development that came into the market was Trump announced that the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important oil shipping routes, will reopen as a part of that agreement. And so when that happened, what happened to the oil? And he said it on one of his tweets, down goes oil. So the news sent oil prices down nearly 5%, easing concerns about the supply, which I hope so, because I was about to start driving a slingshot in the rain. So let's see what's about to happen, man. Lower oil prices are generally viewed as positive for consumers, businesses, and the broader economy. So now, don't go wild yet. I know markets is going up, but of course, just as fast as they put it in, they can't pull it. Because one important detail investors should watch is the official signing of the agreement is not until Friday in Switzerland. So that means, and we know what happened with the last deal, it lasted about 24 hours. So that means traders are pricing in optimism now, but there's still time for unexpected developments before the deal becomes official. So for now, the bulls remain in control of the S&P 500, which has gained in 10 of the last 11 weeks, and it's nearly up 9% this year, while the NASDAQ has advanced in 9 of the last 11 weeks, and is up more than 11% year to date. Man, so what you think about that news, Jose?
Man, I think you're absolutely right, man, because I think as quick as it went up, if things don't go right, it could be a rug pull, a huge rug pull, especially people, they done took this money, they put it in there, and now bam, unloaded everybody.
Man, and it could very well happen at any given Sunday. So let's try to keep that thing rolling, man. Other than that, I think that is it for the news section. What we'll do, let's take a little quick break. And when we get back, we will jump into some of the information for the heat check. All right, y'all, wait a minute. Look, it's been so long, man. What are commercials at, man? I don't even know. We got commercials still, man? Dude, hey, look, y'all. Yeah, we'll be back. What it do, KTTV? This is KT, and I want to introduce you to my all-new streaming service, KTTV Digital. This streaming service offers more than 1,000 channels, thousands of movies, pay-per-view, and all sports packages. If you're paying hundreds of dollars for cable a month, switch to KTTV Digital and pay less than $1 a day. You heard me right, folks. All this for less than $1 a day. If you're ready to put hundreds of dollars back in your pocket, cut the cord and reach out to me on KTTV.com. 100. Free trials are available. Hey, boy, sometimes I amuse myself. Look,
got that cable.
Hey, look, man, we out here, man. I got the hook up. All right, y'all, let's go. Heat check. All right, y'all. Look, man, you know how I go down, y'all. All right, before we even talk about stocks, options, or trade ideas, we have to answer this coin question. Where is the market environment? And so, because even the best setup can fail if you're trading against the overall market. So now, let's jump into our quick heat check. And so, I guess we'll start with our fear and greed index. And so, looking at this, today, we are sitting at a 41, which places the market in a fear category. Now, why is that important? Because a lot of people think that fear is bad. But as traders, we know fear often creates opportunity, right? So when the crowd gets nervous, institutions begin looking for value. We're nowhere near extreme fear, as you could tell, but we're definitely not seeing the kind of optimism that we saw 1 month ago when the market was sitting in greed territory. So we look at 1 month greed, 1 week ago fear, our previous close fear, and 1 year ago greed. But after Friday, depending on what happened, well, we also have rates this week. So between Wednesday and Friday, we do have a chance to see what will go during this week. Because reading the 41 tells me that investors are cautious. That means I want to stay disciplined, stay selective, and continue following my chart system instead of chasing moves, except for that SpaceX I did today. FOMO. Hey, man, what? I got to get that shirt, man. FOMO equals no more. Hey, look. Hey, man. What you got to say about this fear and greed, man?
Man, dude, I've been watching this for a while now because I know we haven't been together in a while, but I've been watching it and it's been steady with that extreme fear. I know that we've taken some hits in the past few weeks. We did have some some upticking about 3 weeks ago, but then man, it fell all right back down. I do think some of those semiconductor stocks are overdue for a bounce to the downside. They just keep going, man. They just keep going. That AI, I'm hoping it's not a bubble, but the overall market, though, as you
Yeah.
can see, is still in the fear side.
Mhm.
So if they have more room to grow, that's good, because it's been looking like it's been pretty rough out there for some of these major non-semiconductor stocks out there. Even tech, tech took a hit. Microsoft been taking a hit. Google, they all bounced today, of course, but for the past couple of weeks, it's been just like the chart says, fear and extreme fear, and hopefully some of the things that we've been able to pick up will do a little bit of a rally overall with SPY as well. So because if you think about it, your semiconductors and all those AI stocks related to the computer side have been on the rise, but your software and all your big names like Apple's been down, Microsoft, Google, those have yet to run. NVIDIA has yet to run. In fact, they were down, almost 10% after they had extremely good earnings.
Yeah.
And so I'm anticipating those stocks to move. You have your CRM, your Salesforce, you have your uh, Snowflake, you have all those that I
Mhm.
think Oracle, they were up for a while now. I think those can come back
Yeah.
and get
Yeah.
it. So
I did have a position in Oracle, but shoot, I took profit and I just closed it out because it's been kind of slow with that
mhm,
Oracle. Uh, Now with Salesforce, I have began building out a position in Salesforce for shares because I remember when Salesforce was down here before, man. And before I knew it, Salesforce was back up 250, 260. So I'm kind of waiting on that, but I'm still just buying. So I think I got in maybe like 163. And so I'm already at 166 from today. So like you say, just looking at those software companies, Adobe has been kind of moving,
mhm,
waking up. So we'll see what happens. They took a big hit. These are
yep,
$400 companies that are now sitting there like $200, $100 some. So definitely on sale once they catch up to the AI race. I think it's so much that people can do with like your clauses, your chats until it's like, well, like how much do the safe software really do? So they got to come up, but it
mhm.
will time. So
Okay.
what is your question?
Huh?
All right. Next up is our market heat map. And honestly, this is one of my favorite screens because it shows us exactly where money is flowing. So with this, if we look at as Jose just said, if we look at the technology, if we look at the semiconductors, if we look at AI, our leaders, NVIDIA up over 3%, Broadcom strong, AMD strong, Micron leading, Microsoft even green, Apple green, Amazon green, Google, green, all the ones that Jose just talked about. And so when mega cap technology names are green together, that's usually a good sign for the overall market. So now, if you think about what's been going on, I've been looking at some trades inside of like Lilly, United Health. And what's interesting is most of these are red. Energy is weak. Defensive sectors are mixed, right? Because we're not looking at war. Pause. Wait a minute.
Oh, hey, I heard it.
Biggest L of the week. I mean, of the 2024. 2026. I'm sorry. Looking at CrowdStrike at $400,
Mm,
$430, and saying, wow, I think I should buy some. And then looking at it when it gets to $670 and saying, wow, I should have bought some.
mm.
Big as hell. All right. Defensive sectors are mixed. Meanwhile, technology continues to attract buyers. That tells me that institutions are still willing to take the risk. And so for me, if I'm looking for long trades this week, I'm starting in technology and I'm starting in semiconductors first. What you got?
Yeah, I also am looking at the semiconductors right now. I'd like to see a pullback in AMD eventually, but my eyes are dead fixated on NVIDIA and Broadcom, and so I do have positions in both, and I did take a position in Broadcom when it released earnings and it fell almost $30. So I do have some swing calls that I picked up. Also, I'm looking. I do have some long-term NVIDIA calls, so hopefully NVIDIA can turn it around. So that's what I'm waiting on right now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm finna get into a little bit of something that some of them long calls too, man. I was playing a little bit, and then Thinkorswim let you day trade since that PDT rule trade changed. Oh my God! Friday, I got beside myself, man. I was like, man, let me come back down to earth, man. Oh my God, man. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I think I'm gonna do a little swing trade myself. So when we get the platform probing, I'll be able to kind of talk about the system that I use play by play, and then hopefully somebody can be able to use that and pick up on it. All right, next up, we got our VIX in the building. So now let's talk about the VIX. It says 1620 approximately. What the VIX does is it measures our fear and our expected volatility. Think of it as Wall Street's anxiety meter. When the VIX is falling, traders are becoming more comfortable. And we see it was a negative 1.48 today. When the VIX is rising, traders are becoming more nervous. So today's VIX actually dropped more than 8%. That is a significant decline. A falling VIX generally supports higher stock prices. So while the fear and greed index says investors are cautious, the VIX is telling us panic is nowhere to be found. And so that's an important distinction. So what I will say as I close out this section, the fear and greed, slightly bearish as we in the fear. The heat map, if you've seen, we got technology going crazy, which means that's institutions, so bullish. We see that the VIX is dropping, bullish. Technology sector, bullish. Semiconductors, bullish. So what is that telling us? The market isn't euphoric. The market isn't panicking. Technology continues to lead. Semiconductors continue to lead, and volatility continues to fall. And until those things change, I'm still looking for quality, bullish setups while staying disciplined with my risk. Hit your stop loss, people. What you got as we close that thing out, man?
I absolutely agree with you, man. I think that, like you said, with that thing being over there in that fear, with everything else pointing to bullish, I think we got a good way. We got a good rally setting up, and if things work out, if it's true about this whole 60 days, that they got 60 days to get everything finalized and confirmed, that gives us 60 days of a rally here in the market. And then if they decide to pull the rug because nobody wants to sign that peace deal, if that's how the terms are set up right now, and if that's the one thing that's holding everything back, then yeah. But I do see that we've been in the fear, and we're moving out, and so I see a rally. I think all signs are pointing to a rally right now.
Yeah, like I told y'all, when we think about the fear and greed, when we had extreme fear, that's when it's time to get that break. When we fear, you don't want to just load the boat, but that is a comfortable place to start buying your positions, right? So that's a comfortable place to start opening your positions, whether that's 25 shares, 125 shares, whatever you got. Pace yourself, but it's time to start getting into that thing to see what's going to happen with the bread as we get ready to go. All right. I think that will do it for that section. When we come back, well, we might not even do nothing, man. I think we ain't got no more. I don't know what happened to that. Man, I don't know what happened to the. Oh, hold on, wait a minute, Bam. We'll be right back. Shameless promotion. If you have not bought the book, make sure you go to kttv.com. So you can get that, man. Got some schools, man, interested in the
Hey,
book and the workbook and the work, bro, for next year, bro. I'm just
hey,
like, okay,
all
let's
right.
get to the bag, baby. All right, so now, as we back, y'all know what time it is. If you don't, you're gonna learn today.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I...
Hold up. What we got, OT? Give us something good today.
So I know the one thing that we've all been talking about is this tech and this fear and this greed and all of that. But I want to make sure that everybody knows that we do what we also make sure that we talk about is SPY, QQQ. We talk about that all the time, right? And we've already talked about how the SPY, we're pushing to those highs that we had, a few weeks ago, a few months ago. KT and I were talking about that. QQQ is on the rise. And we, as of course, we are watching NVIDIA because that has been one of our main plays. If you missed the boat on AMD, I sold and I sold early, but I sold and I made profits, but I didn't make as near as many as I could have, but I still had a bag that I was able to cash in. So if you missed out on that, pay close attention to NVIDIA, y'all. NVIDIA is destined for greatness because they are one of the leading companies out there, chips makers, semiconductor, they are that. And another one, now that KT was talking about this SpaceX, keep an eye out on Tessie. Tessie is won't even have to look at those charts because those are companies that you should always want to keep an eye on, have them on your watch list, have them good to go. Apple took a little bit of a dump last week because they had they announced to the world their new programs for up and coming products, and then they were down a quick 8 to 9%. I was able to get in some more Apple, and so those are the kind of things that you look for. But with all this SpaceX and space going out, the stock that I want to talk about today is going to be one of those that are in the space industry. Can you see that?
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me put you on. All right, take this out. Bam, there we go. We're good to go.
All right, you can see it. All right, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about Redwire today. So if you look at the chart, you can see that we were overextended at $26, and this was just recently in June. So we have been in a little bit of a tailspin there, only because people were taking profits. But if you look at the pattern, and this is the month chart, it resembles a bull flag. And you can see that we do have a double bottom here. Now, the one from the technical standpoint, we are sitting at a critical 29% RSI. Relative strength index is below 30, which means we are extremely oversold. And as if you can look at the chart itself from the 1 month period, it looks oversold from the top of 28. So we hit 28, 27, 28. And so since that high, we have come down almost 50% in a month, in less than a month. So all eyes for me are on Redwire because it is a space stock. SpaceX just got its IPO. It is crushing it. The hype will die down for a little bit, but the space hype is not going anywhere anytime soon. And the reason why Redwire is a little special to me is because Redwire, remember a long time ago, KT, when we talked about that AI bubble, and we also, or the AI, and we also talked about there was another event that happened where the gold rush, it wasn't the people who got the gold that made the money. It was the people who made the shovels. And so remember that analogy, because Redwire, they don't build or they don't explore, but they give you all the product that you need, critical components of your space travel and of all the space exploration that these companies need. So Redwire is a key supplier to all that, which is why all my eyes, all four of them, are on Redwire. So I got Redwire as one. And then the last one that I got that I'm going to look at real quick is that we are going to look. We've already talked about Tesla. We've already talked about that, but I'm going to talk about CRM, which is Salesforce. So if you look at Salesforce, man, also on the 1 month chart, it has gotten beat down since June. We had this high, and that's great because we had taken a while. We were in a little bit of a downtrend as well. We kicked back up. We have some good news, some good earnings, and then they have been getting crushed since. RSI right around 30. So Salesforce, it's also a software stock for AI, and people use this when it comes to different things that they do for the company, for the businesses. So if I go out to the 1 year chart on this, you can definitely see that we are still steady getting beat up, and we got room to go. We've got this double bottom on the 1 year. If we do consolidate a little bit more to about 125, that's okay. But I anticipate a little bit of a run up here. Hopefully we can get back to 200 and get back there by end of year. So CRM is one of those plays that I just took out some calls for January 27, March of 27, and January of 2028. And so I am looking forward to having them get back to the top. So Redwire, CRM, Salesforce, keep those on your radar.
Okay. So now that's what I say. I already started that position for Salesforce. So we're gonna see what's happening. If I can get down to that 125, I wish you would. I'm loading the boat. Period. Point blank. Period. That's all I gotta say. If we get down to 125, and I've seen it there before, and it jumped up another $100. If it gets back down there, I'm loading the boat, and it's on. I just want to put that disclaimer out there. I will call y'all back when y'all see the evidence of what happened when I did what I said I was gonna do. All right, man. We appreciate that information and trading with Ortiz, y'all. What we'll do? Let's take another quick break, and then when we get back, we will get into some platform probing. All right, little platform probing. Let's go. All right, y'all. Welcome to Platform Probing. Let me get my chart set up here so I can be able to share it with y'all. Let me see here. So I want to share this screen as we get into. Y'all know we had to come on here and talk a little bit about some of this SpaceX right here. I can't leave y'all. I can't leave y'all out there bad. Well, we at 197.70. Oh my God, bro! I told y'all I was gonna jump in that thing, bro. In at 192, bro. Hey man, it was 1 minute left for the trading day, bro. I said, nah, bro. I see this thing ain't gonna stop, man. We hit the 200, bro. And I had to jump in, bro. And I'm already up a few hundred just as I see this 197.90, bro. We going to sizzle tomorrow, man. All right. So now, y'all, let's jump into this platform probing as we get ready to look at what is going on. So now, as you can see, we know where the money is flowing. So let's move into this SpaceX, right? Is this the next $1 trillion company, or is it just IPO excitement? We will look at one of the most companies that's talked about tonight, SpaceX, because for years, and we seen this last Friday, so many people became millionaires because investors have watched from the sideline while the private investors, while the employees, while the venture funds enjoyed the ride. But now the company is public, and we just got one question. Is it still room to run? And so today in Platform Probing, we will pull this chart up and we will find out what's going on with SpaceX. So when people hear SpaceX, they think rockets. But I want you to remember that SpaceX is not just rockets. It's much more than a rocket company. Their business is built around 4 major growth engines. And so we got rockets, of course, but then we got Starlink. Do not forget about the Starlink internet. Then we got government and defense contracts, and we have future space infrastructure, right? So many analysts believe Starlink alone could eventually become one of the largest communication businesses on the planet. So once again, with all that in there, where do we go from here? So this is what I wanted us to do in our platform program. We went to our 4-hour chart right now. And the first thing we're doing is looking at who is currently in control of this chart. Now, I don't know, and no disrespect to all my colorblind people, but I don't see a bit of red on this chart besides my VWAP line right here. Well, we had a little something right here, but that was Friday when we first dropped. Now, look at us way over here. We are at 197 with the opening of, and we'll get that opening. Boom. I might do me an anchor VWAP right here. But we got an open of 149. And we are here at 197 and counting. So let's see what happens when we get to 200. Because we know it could get crazy. But let's talk about what we see in this chart. The price is above our 9 EMA. The price is above our 20 EMA. The price is above the 60 EMA. And so we got strong breakout positions above our previous resistance. And so let's go back and let's chart. And let's look at where our previous resistance was. So I'm going to come back here. Shoot, man, we got it. We kind of right up in here, though, right? About 186. That's where we want to go right there. So that's our previous resistance. And so this is 2 ways. Some people take it down here with the end of the wick. Some people go right here for the end of the candle. But since this is our EMA, we're just going to let that ride. And I'm going to stick with right here where we're seeing that thing get pushed up or down a few times. But see, it resisted. Boom, support. And then it went on by our business. Thing's still rolling, man. All right, now let's get back over here. We also see consecutive higher highs. So if I make a trend line and I come right here, my trend line will support me saying consecutive higher highs, right? Because every time this thing is bumping, 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 but we're not going straight across. We're steady trending up. So that's another good thing that we're looking at. And then consecutive higher lows. So if I go and I make another trend line over here, right? I can't just go to the side with my trend line. I got to keep going up because every time it goes lower, it still goes higher low, right? So we got a low here. Boom. We got another higher low here. We got another higher low. Came back and talked to us. But what happened when it got back to that 9? Boom. Jump straight back up into higher lows. So we are definitely in a good place as we get ready to cross this 197. Let's go. Shoot about some calls. All right. So now, this is where we at. This is the system that I work with every day where my moving averages are stacked. So we always want to look at, is the 9 above the 20? Is the 20 above the 60? And if they are, we are talking bullish. So it's safe to say that the chart for 4-hour SpaceX is bullish. Now, once again, we just said our key level is 186. The blue line around 186 was resistance. How do we know it's resistance? We got 2 candles that bounced right back off this same line right here. So that tells us we getting some support. Support. So that tells us we getting some support right around this line, right? Sorry about that, y'all. That means once it breaks, now we're looking at a flush down, but we ain't there yet. So buyers are now defending this area, which is what you see. So now I want to drop down to our 1-hour chart. Oh, this is the 1-hour chart. I'm sorry, y'all. I was on the 4 first. The 1 hour chart tells us that the momentum is strengthening or weakening. In this case, what do we see our momentum doing? Getting stronger than a.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't even got it over here, but it's getting strong, right? So what I see is a breakout is confirmed above our support. The price is holding above support. We got a little, if you look at that third one, solo, wait a minute. I ain't got no pointer, but if you look at this candle, right, can you see where I'm pointing to?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look at this, we got a little consolidation after this strong move right here. And then what happened? We kept on going with the come on. Now we're just trying to see if it's going to break out of this trend line and we're going to keep heading up. This is actually what healthy stocks do. They don't go straight up forever. They run, they pause, then they decide whether to continue. When we sit around here at 186, we had to make a decision. Are we going to sit around here or are we going to continue? And the market decided to continue. Now, don't be like me and freestyle, because the question is it too late to get in? And I'm going to tell you this. Not necessarily. Missing a move and chasing a move are two different things. So what we see about this SpaceX trend is that it is still intact. And so now let's get down and talk raw numbers. If 186 holds, our first target, which is why I bought in at 192 when I was researching this today, was 195. We clearly got past 195 because we are sitting at 197.95. So now, what is our next target? Jose, you be the guest. You just randomly. What is our next target?
Oh, 200.
200, because the market loves to make decisions at double zero numbers. So the thing is, I'm watching all of that little profit that I'm going to earn from 192 to 200, because I know at 200, this thing could come all the way back down to at least 186. Or it can get crazy and go back down to 181, because we also got some right down here. So now our third target is going to be 210. So once we break that 200, I think 210 is in the cards as long as buyers continue defending 186. These prices remain possible. Now, on the flip side of it, because remember, you want to look at 3 levels to the top and 3 levels to the bottom. If that 186 fails, we got a 183. So let's go back and open up this thing a little bit here. So if it falls, we got a 183. So we're talking about up in here where that VWAP at. Want to come bring that down. By right up in there. So 182.38, 183. And then lo and behold, if that drops, we coming right down. So we're looking at, maybe 179. Yeah, man, maybe 179 we're going to look at too. Oops. Now, if we do 179 and that thing break 179, yeah, y'all just go and close in positions and wait till you get back to 160. Don't even hold for that. But we got 179, and then what else do we have after that? We got 175. So we'll say 175, 72. If you want to come down to the bottom of your wick, we'll go right here. And so these are on higher time frames. So I guarantee if we go down to like the 15-minute, we'll see a little bit more of what we was talking about. So that's our 182 levels. This is our 186 level. See, we had a lot of fighting going on right here. All right, so coming back over. If buyer lose 186, then that's our pullback. Not so bearish. That simply means that SpaceX is taking a break. And remember what happened. It's like, I don't know. You got the Pikachu hat on. I don't know how that goes. Maybe that's Dragon Ball Z. Who is that where they kind of go down and they stutter step, they gather all their power, and then they shake out?
Past Pikachu.
Pikachu, yeah. So that's what we're talking about right there. Drop down, get a little liquidity, and then we head back to the top. And so for investors, this story is exciting. The fundamentals are exciting, but we don't buy excitement. We buy setups. And right now, the chart remains bullish. Like I told y'all, I jumped in. The market is not closed yet. I might go in and take that little profit and get on up out of there real quick and see what happens tomorrow. I'm not going to lie to you. As soon as I get out this car. The 3 questions before entering this trade. Remember, we went and we looked at our 4 hour, our 1 hour, our 15 minute. Is the trend bullish? Is the support holding? Or buyers defending the pullback? And so, yes, they are defending the pullback because we see we bounced at 186. So for my SpaceX, my answer today is get you some. The trend bullish, the support holding, and buyers continue showing up. Our trend is bullish, momentum is bullish, structure is bullish, risk management, watch 186. So that is where you'll set your stop loss, 186 to close your position out. Remember, SpaceX sits at the intersection of artificial intelligence, communications, defense, and innovation. The story is powerful, but the chart is what pays us. For now, buyers remain in control. So we will continue watching 186 support level and let the market tell us what comes next. And I think that's it for that, man. That's another platform pro, but in the books, man. What you got?
Man, that's nice. And you know, SpaceX, you know, even if you aren't trying to, you know, ride the wave right now, you know, it's a good and long-term investment. So
I agree with that.
Like KT said, man, get you some.
Look, I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'm finna see what this thing gonna do by 7 o'clock. I might take some profits. All right. Hey, man, I think that would do it for us with this episode. Man, it's been a minute, man, since we touched base like this, man. Look,
man, it felt good today, y'all.
Yeah, let's go through, man. All right, so y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Please make sure that you're learning, doing your research, using your stop loss, because I've had an astronomical amount in my account, and I didn't use a stop loss. And it was reduced astronomically. So just making sure we are setting those stop losses and we are taking care of business. The only thing is with the market is money. If you know what you're doing, you'll get it back. So that's why we don't trip on losses, but at the same time, preserve your cash because you work hard for it. Anything you got, Jose, before we get out of here?
The hardest thing to do when you start trading, because it is all about mindset and discipline. I'm still learning this, and I've been doing this since 2015. You know, you have to make sure that once you learn, first of all, once you learn what all this is, and you can look at charts and you can read charts and you know what you're talking about, that's one thing. Knowing when to get in is another thing. Knowing when to get out is another thing. But having that discipline, because KT, he's right. We've seen accounts blow up and then blow up, you know. So you have to think about what is your reason for investing, trading, whatever it is, and what are you? Are you an investor? Are you a trader? But at the same time, man, you have to know that everything goes up and everything goes down. So don't panic. Don't FOMO, don't do all that. And when you see profit, take profit, you know, because only baseball players can consistently hit home runs. We have to take whatever base hits, whatever doubles we can, because in reality, that's what it's about, because those hits add up. You know, yes, every now and then you will hit the home run, but it doesn't matter if you don't press that sell button. So if you hit that home run and you've got the money green, take the money. You know, even if it means reducing by half, if you've got shares and that's all you do is invest in shares, and you're at a comfortable place to where you made your money, sell half of it, you know, and let the rest of it ride out. Or, you know, if you're really long term, you're going to want to keep it all. But if you're doing expiration dates with these options and you see them green and you're up by 100%, 200%, 1,000%, it might be time to take some of those profits. And I am a clear testament to that. Yes, I have been greedy. Yes, I have kept it too long. Yes, I did sell and it kept on going. But what I'm learning is you got to get past that. You can't be mad. You can't be upset. You know, you got to understand why, you know, but if you're up and you take profit, don't worry about what it keeps doing. At the same time, you know, if you're up or if you're down and you say, oh, it's going to come back, it don't always come back. So just make sure that your trading profile fits your mentality and how you want to get the job done.
Hey,
it's tough, but you can be rewarding.
Can be rewarding because
we still doing
just
it
like that. I just sold that SpaceX that I bought at 3 o'clock. Hey, I had to take a few profits off the table because I really was waiting for 200. It's at 197. That thing could hit 200 overnight and then just drop. And so I knew it was risky. It was an in and out move. So hey, what I'll do tomorrow is I'll wait for it to tap 200 and see what happened. But it just went down from I sold at 197.40, and it is just that fast, 196.80 and dropping. So that's why you go in and get those profits. It may come back down to the 9 EMA and take back off, but still I had to go in and get what I had to get real quick. And my plan is to meet it at 200 tomorrow and see what it's going to do, breakout or fake outs. Please remember, FOMO equals no more. So be disciplined, people. All right, y'all. This is KT for KTTV and my co-host
JoJo, baby.
Hey, man, we're going to see y'all back next week. We're on summer break. We outside.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTV.
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 KTTV.